I think we are on, right?
Yeah, we are live.
Okay. Good morning. 1 second, let me just start the recording. Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our weekly New Gambia platform show. Today is November 28, 2021. It's our last show before the election, and is a very critical show because we're gonna assess and give our feedbacks about how we can have a peaceful election, and then advise our voters as well as our leaders how they can maintain their posture and then look at this election as an election which outcome we should all accept. As long as everything is done fairly and squarely, we should all accept the outcome of the election, and whoever wins is given the pathway to lead us for the next 5 years, and we rally behind the person. That is what elections are. That's what politics is. So we look at the collective interests of everybody. So mbadi ngolo nanyi so nyina munna so la bounty be menkela before election will be start la membe kala next week. So mbe mulbe danila purunga nyo yamari kairola aninten ko na banko kan no momondi winter kanyeta ngabulo wonoma ha ngalon ko Gambia will decide ala la nyinta wala for the next 5 years. So ngana banko je nkana mfangola intereso damaje bari nimma oke nga fitino dundi wara nga balambaya tandi abe banko ate banko sambala jado. So mbalbe konton na mbal jayila na panelists bejang Sam Sise from Indiana, and Alas Ngel from Germany, and Famara be on audio because I've been doing that's why I cannot see his face. From Famara, welcome. I'm your host, Mumudu Sawane. So platform I think I flow in your telesine. Ali muna jeni election ola kuodo me alon ko advice wo dino na badi wala.
Yeah, Famara, you can start, maybe. It's Mandinka. I cannot help
Famara, aku start.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Mr. Sawanembe Kondon Nabake, Alas, and then also Sam, Allah Barakabake. Sawane Komia Funyame, Nadia the Mansatala, Yensibiti Nala, Gambian Kol Vitala Karte, Fayola. Kamotombo mi alonko wole betambila nyato for the next 5 years wala sanji lulu min kanana. So abedame tenting campaign da electoral campaign last week or more than that since on the 13th I think. So more be busy right now. Political campaign will be kekane. IEC plan will dedale political party nyande tarala tundu minna bankoka. So ngajene dolta provinces already muruntanang ebe combo area sign. So I believe right now political bit of center can around combo area ma the sign at this point in time. So akumata ba ke pro ba nyina bakela dimas kun labawote jenning election o tema pour fananga finti New Gambia platform comme dalta kala nyame ka Gambian kol kala mutandi ke kunindi ke karandi political la karola anim banko fon la nyaado ta la karola. So lumu kulere mi alonko is very very important pour nga jube nyofe isaje ko se nyo karandi nga nyo ya mari fana ba politiko ngalon nako na yintundo la Africa banko kan adiamo fonkasia anu Gambia nyinam carte fayo ntena ma sifaje preparation of Kenya la molla tonato Kenya la campaign strategy sola, and this also manifesto should be funtikan domandin political party bila manifesto should fintin kanne katandi molla ko definitely it will political party mi alonko molse quartier faynoe yeah. So all them fenete mi alonko abembe tandi kam back political party tentula but min bija wolom jo quartier fay mi alonko bakela Cairo kono wala kumata back anu mbolo diam kam bi because Cairo ate kumata bakela min Cairo man soto banko kan nte fenkela no mi alonko asekeno nyaata kote hani alabata ko fonta kila no bawo fendo mi alonko ni man Cairo soto tumando tano juman salola wala tano jami de salola ba mo be tara bunko no ata fintila ka hani ka funti inila dimba be salla soko nin kayro man soto molte wafiro kala no kata marché de ka wafiro ke molti no karambongol to mol fonati no do kola so reba jelo ko obe banko la yuruwa sendi la komale abena economy murun la komale so wala na kumata bake pour nga kacha nyole ndamalo nga jube be election kala nyamen kayro kono ni min tambita be nga bulano kan sanjilul koten fo jenen carte fay do binala koten ken saka hormoni bunya kono bara kumata fana bawo political party nyaton kolo etello mo nyaton kolo min yalon ko be ka buletel le nokan ibe nyin kara dola wo be nga nyaton kolo so mi yalon ka bule nokan so to ko wo nyaton kolo e nyanta kala molle te min yalon ko be good example o dila saje ko mol se bule nokan etel fon dammal kana bero fay nyokan e dammal kana kuma fo nyoy mi yalon ko asi karla supporter dimi wala ni don fana supporter dimi fo ita dunyola mi yalon ko aman jari wala yaje so wolum kulote mi yalon ka kumata ba ke nimbe na campaign strategy platform ol kan nga fo doron mi yalon ko telango hamolo suto pour ka banko sambanyato mina mi la strategy mina mi la policy te mina mi la agenda ti yo sell out molia den ye mol bule hakilo bulu nimin sita ya jube ko karede alafta min kala banko e de wala mun tella nyaata den asa decide da min diata etaje ba nin ko be politiko kala nyoti nyawti wala mbakela nyo newti wala mbakela nyo kaja foti den wala kana problem ol sambana mi yalon ko aka kairo on the mind banko kan so ngamra won fenete mi yalon ko nyanta hakilo tulaje bake so nyinka ya akarte fa nyo on tena maaje nak preparation of the sifa anin kulbita kanyamen dal it's going to be a very very tough one definitely I want that easy la so sawane nyene bijeda so budum on sen hakilo fa nyo kan ngamol kalam dande nga jibe be ko taman la nyame
Okay, abaraka bake.
Abaraka bake from
Yeah, so saying famaro kumo seniata ngamera na politician libe be miracle wala la ya jiben be peaceful election conduct la nyami. So Sam and Sam and Alas.
yeah.
Let Alice go.
Small all of it. I miss all of you.
Yeah, we miss you too.
But I'm back.
Definitely.
I'm a lot of work to do and very busy all this time. But today, it's a very important day. And I have to take this time and come. Come you go farmer don't know here. At Mr. Sawane. For that day, the last day, because so we go ready for every Sunday. Day my last day before the election. So you go jox nit ñi rek ñi vote some tips and tricks and man suma wala mom I'm also with Famara that everything is organized and everything work lu nekk ngeen demee very peacefully no problems or anything and loolu mu ngi wone ne suñ way of democracy or election mu ngi baax every time normally biñ ko mën a compare nag ak bu Europe nag te bu Europe ak bu foofu du benn Afrique dañ yaaga am a kind of tradition boo xam ne danga nekk di téye loudspeaker bi di wax nit ñi di tàcc di fecca and I mean we still having that ñu ngi am loolu benn tey waaye léegi am na opposition yi ñëw di wax nanka about problème bi nit ñi am ba pare ñoom tam suñ toogee lu ñoo def te loolu mësuta am before dang daan am rek nit ñi toog naan dañ di promise rek te suñ toogee nag nit ñi joxe gannaaw fàtte ne def yes again so man nag ci loolu laa bëgg a ñëwaat mais nit ñi li ma seetlu ñu bari foog naa dañ ko gisee comme Christmas dëkk bi xew na bari na karab ak yooyu yëpp waaye su ma ko seetaatee nit ñi dañ war a bàyyi seen xel lu tax élection am lu tax ñu war a dem pour vote di ke lii du foo du caaxaan seen life seen life la ba pare du life yi benn bés but life yi 5 years ba ñoo amati the same chance to do it again to correct it or ñu pour yokka ko ñu te ba booba dinañ xam ndax def nañ a mistake ndax def nañ vote nañ correct because su baaxee nañ ne waaw vote nañ correct su fekkee bon nañ dinañ ne waaw kon dama def mistake ak suma voting card so yàlla nag dafa wax ne jox naa la xel looloo tax mu jox nit ki xel ne ko ikra mu ci bug bi loolu yëpp pour mu xam li moo def ci àdduna pare sooy def dara tam nga def ko correct soo ko defut correct li tam mun naa ñëwaat back to you ba nga xam ne yow def nga something wrong life amel noonu so ñun ñu ngi am a final chance now for the coming years waxtaana koo xam ne kii ku mun di doon moom dina war a génne Gambia ci problème bi mu nekk and take it to the next level ba nga xam ne dinañ mën a compete sax yeneen dëkk yi su fekkee ne kooku fa mun naa nekk barotam sax so na nit ñi vote properly ñun mi toog fii nag ñun amuñ parti looloo ci gën a ne dicté ñun mun nañoo wax suñ soxla waaw waaye di fact that ñu bokk ci parti rek duñ mën a wax dëgg soo gisee nit ñi laay platform bi loolu because we are not biased so man li ma advise every individual every Gambian on the 3rd of December nga dema sa voting card bi nga tira sa voting card bi def ko sa ron ngege naay bi nga laaj sa boppa lan mooy suma future kan moo ma mun a jox future and try to be real to yourself xam nga ñun we have that problem soo gisee ñu bari dee wax ne Gambian bi dafa fake sometimes it's true sometimes not because we are not real to ourselves so say even this election you see people they'll stand here on one stage saying nonsense and today they are doing the opposite so even the people listening to them they lose that confidence to that person because the more within a week we'll do another thing so what is that for a person so nit ñi vote dañ war a bàyyi xel nag ndi faale ne kii suma mbokk la kii suma tanta la kele suma xariti nijaay la nañ duma lay wax de waaye dama leen day jox exemple yi fii ñun fi ñu nekk fii di nga gis jabar dina vote kele jëkkër vote kele ñu bokk a reer dem ne because ku nekk dafa respect opinion yi keneen bi ke man mënuma laa ne Mr. Sawane yow fi nekk dama nga vote doy o dama nga vote I have no right for that di te su ma la waxee loolu yow soo sonee ëllëg I'm not going to help you for that for doing your own wrong or your own mistake because yaa ngi vote wrong so bu kenn déglu kenn na ku nekk xool boppam xool life am soo gisee ñu ne voting card with 18 years that means that person is mature to know moom si boppam lan la bugga ak lu mu bugut so fi mu nekk nag yëfi sabar yeeg coow yeeg bi ma advice nit ñi daal nañ toog nelawa seen voting cards yi xam ne loolu la leen yàlla jox nañ real to themselves understand and try to vote somebody koo xam ne tam they have to be fair and be responsible mais du moom rek mu moo nekk di coono ñeneen ñi coono so na vote somebody koo xam ne tam dina génne coono bi ci ñoom ak seen mbokk mooy Gambie so moom la na man people bi they used to say maa ngi doy ak maa nga UDP ak because people cannot even know because man awma kenn man I used to say always depuis balaa 2016 I used to say I see on the Gambia for me Gambia is my party if Gambians are okay I'm okay if Gambians are happy I'm happy if Gambia is peaceful I'm also peaceful so if somebody touch Gambia then you touch me so that means Gambia is my party but still people should be responsible also to have a party because without parties we cannot have elections So I'm free because I'm here. So I don't have that influence. But the people on the ground is more in their hands. Most new in the diaspora and see they can vote, but there is no preparation. So that means indirect rejection. You know. So now that is not even over. We are getting stones also on top of it. I'll come to that later. You know. So I'm begging every individual not try. Move, forget about the crowd and the dancing and the drumming and the singing and help himself and the Gambian people. Man daal loolu rek laa mën a explain fi mu nekk ci olof. So xanaa ma bàyyi Sam mu ñëw and yeah, thank you very much.
Jërëjëf.
Thanks, Alice. Thank you.
Waaw bi nee naa waaw bi baax na.
waaye foog naa angale baa ci bëri sax ak jaamani.
Yeah, trying. Okay. Sam.
Yeah. Well, I guess I will say it in English because if I'm going to say it in Mandinka, Alice, and Wallop, I'll go to English. And so you can summarize it anyhow you want. But anyway, thanks everyone. Definitely Alice and Famara, you really brought up very good points and gave very good advices. And I thank you for that. Definitely. This is our country, and we need to look at Gambia as our country. This is our future and the future of our children and our grandchildren. So election year is a very serious year. It's a year that we all need to make sure that our people, especially people in the diaspora, that our people back home make the right decision for themselves, since we in the diaspora cannot vote. So taking it seriously and think about the future, and don't think about today, and don't think about what you can get today. Think about what's coming up in the future for you and your children and your grandchildren. It's very important. So voting is a right, is a fundamental right, is our constitutional right, and everyone need to take their vote very seriously, knowing that there's simple majority that is going to determine the winner of this election. So my advice here, and what I'm going to talk about, will impact maybe 3 or 4 different groups. One is IEC, another one is the political parties, another one is the people that are going to vote, and the last group I'm going to talk about is immigration. All of these groups need to take their part. They all need to play their part, because we want free and fair elections. And to be able to get free and fair elections, all of these groups need to take place, do their part. One, I will start with the people. People need to know who to vote for. By now, they should already make their minds, if they've already seen what has happened. So in our country for the past 5 years, they've also seen by now, they've also listened to all the political party leaders and their campaigns and what their manifesto is about, if they were talking about the manifesto. So at this point, yes, some people can make late decisions, and that always happens. You can make late decisions. You can wait till the night before election and change your mind. And every individual has that right to change their mind and do what is right for the country. Don't think about what is right for you. So people need to do that. The same people with the voter registration card, they should never, I will repeat this, never allow anyone to come and buy your voter registration card. Do not allow that. If you sell your voter registration card, one, you're selling the future of the country. And 2, it's illegal. You're committing a crime. You, the seller and the buyer, both committing a crime, and is prohibited, should not be allowed. And I totally condemn that 100%. So do not sell your your voter registration card. So the other part is, to make it short and simple, is the political party leaders and political parties. Political parties need to make sure that they sell their manifesto and stop talking about each other. We already know who is President Barrow. He's been there for the past 5 years. We already know what he's done. All right. So, and sometimes people make decisions based on what they've seen. All right. We already know about all the political party leaders. None of them is a stranger to people. People know them, especially the ones contesting now. We know a lot about them, and they should be taking that opportunity to sell their manifesto to people, make themselves known, make their case for people to vote for them, and stop talking about each other. Okay. That's one. They also need to make sure that they are fair. They are fair and try not to buy voters cards from people. That is fraud. It's illegal. And if they do and people have evidences, this can end up in court. So they need to be serious about this and serious about our country, and discourage any member from their party to attempt to buy voter registration cards from people. So they should take responsibility and lead by example, every political party leader. All right, I'll go to immigration. Immigration need to do their job on the day of election or a couple of days before election to really guard our borders, to not to allow anyone that is not a Gambian citizen, that does not have the constitutional right to vote, to come into our country. Because if they interfere with our elections, that can impact the election tremendously and can cause the wrong person to win, which is not going to be people's choice. And when that happens, it becomes a chaos. So immigration, get up and do your job. That's what you're paid for. You're not there to satisfy anybody. You don't work for any individual president. You work for the people. So immigration, do your job. That's all I'm going to ask for you to do. Just do your job. If you fail to do your job and you neglect your job, because of that negligence can cost you your job in the future if there is a change in the government. So be prepared for that. IEC. Well, IEC is the referee. Any football game, any game you see in the world, if the referee is not fair, the referee is the one that causes the game. And everybody points their fingers to the referee. And it causes chaos. It causes people to really attack the referee. They attack the referee because the referee is not fair. So IEC need to be very transparent. They need to play by the book. They need to be very fair. They need to hold themselves accountable. They need to hold all political parties accountable. They need to play by the book and be fair so we can have a free and fair elections. Without that, anything that comes out of it, it will be caused by them because they are the referee. So being a referee, you need to be independent, just like how you're called independent electoral commission. You need to be they need to be independent. IEC need to be neutral. They cannot favor any political party. They need to just do their job. You know what? If not, again, they will face the consequences. If they mess up this election, they're messing up our country. And that can end up in court, and they will have to be the ones that are going to be held accountable for that. And not only that, if there is ever a change of government, guess what? All of you will be gone. They will terminate all of your service and get you out of there. So you better do your job right, IEC. That's all I have right now.
Thank you. Baraka Bake, Baraka
Thank you very much, sir.
Assam Lokumunti at Senator IEC advices.
I also wanted to add something, if I'm allowed.
Okay, go
Mr.
ahead.
Sawana, do you want to comment?
No,
I just wanted to add something to Sam about IEC.
It ain't then after we can listen.
Yeah, on IEC is a very important institution. You know, normally they are very important. I mean, it's the referee. They are the referees. If there's anybody, because people are complaining that they have very few personnel and things like that. And Mr. Njai is also getting old. Maybe the stress is too much for him. And, so everything is based on one person there. Something they used to say, I don't know, something down at the end. And that is also something we were talking about all the time. We need all these reforms right at the beginning, but then nothing is done. Whether it's IEC, whether it's the security reform, or I don't know. So that means we can still be having such problems. We talk about reforms, that means to make it better. You know, the IEC should have been having right now maybe 50 people, all working for IEC, and having good lawyers, maybe minimum 5, who are only there to advise them. Especially when it's a very sensitive and important institute in the Gambia. I mean, in any country. So it's a funny thing to say Mr. Jai is old, which I understand. So everything based on one person. Just imagine that. One person. The person is a human being. That's the problem. And we human beings, we always make mistakes. The German people know that. If I tell you my master's certificate, 5 people have to sign it. 5 different people. You know why? The security. I can know you, maybe you give me good passes. But the third person will not know me. So we'll know that the first person cheated. So it's a guarantee and security. You understand? So there are certain decisions by the IEC. It should not be based on one person, or even 2. It's still small. Because it's a very complicated thing. You can see certain mistakes sometimes because they are human beings. You cannot blame them. And there is no reform. If only one person should decide the whole thing, that's dangerous. Maybe one day he didn't have enough sleep. The next day he's having bad mood, thinking bad. Everything is bad. He's a human being and do everything wrong or everything half correct. There is no guarantee for that. So what is very good that we talk about it, or we can talk about it in a peaceful manner. But this is a very important institute that we should not play with it. Because the referee should also be having a free head to decide. You understand what I mean? So you can just see it like that. But not that the referee come with stress and, nervosity and, so they're doing good job. They did also good job in 2016, but right now you can see that there are certain problems, especially from the nomination here, that those people have to go to court again and things like that. That's why when the institute was having good lawyers to advise them what is good and what is bad, they will not go to that extent.
Right.
So they Sam is right. The IC, they have to do their job, but I would suggest that they try to reform it. And if they are sort of having shortage of personnel, let them cry that everybody hears it. Even if the government doesn't do it, they can still talk to the EU, or the UN. They support and respect such important issues. I'm sure that they'll help them with money, and then so that they can try to update themselves. So thank you very much. And as I said, when they have to go to the courts, they have to see, and the government can help them, maybe paying these people money and everything. It's not a joke. So thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, Allah. Okay, diamol kita election la kuala. So ndebina la drunk komen ko soul men beje ngawol dumandin fa because alekumul be fale Sam alas mfamara alia be fale so election onying akumaya ta bakele membe kina na presidenti next 5 years akumata nyadile because banko la Cairo abu wole bala nyaron ko ani Gambia dimol but as a jama fo be nyaron ko le bala analam ani men be maralola so sa try ni last minute ko no kana na katol sang e mkana song moli na katol sambulu kate sang wala mo monti yena e ko ba dila ya lon ko ite e be parti dolo to me ya lon ko mutu la parti la mutu la probo molti e after parti la moli tala ite ko do dile ya fo ko dukare te kato fayne nga ko do dila because isi ko nyi mudan nole kate fa la moti je bar kato ko sunya nya dile e kanale ya foy ko ite mu ñu nabarama balati ite ni la family natul mo wonne bi je ale kartewul dila ya mute bulo kono atol kanata karte fayola so ibajala ila opponent nyin karte kese muang wo stop tractor wol bulle so karte sannal kake wala nyama itul katara munala it tala de ya foy ko by force afayne because it will tetara la je ni ba fayla so it kodo dile la pour nyin kamala yoke so ka se bul nyaade le ka ta ya muta fukar ka funin election botala ibajala ite de karto faynola so nying fana amam betea munada mam betea bi idlo carte kese kilimo sana nyin carte fayo mu simple majority lade idlo carte kese kilimo nazo no wole mino nata fanko nata election nata to one vote itelo carte kese kilimo you can put the person on top molka fogo hakilne bente bulu amam mata ninte manta carte fayola amam mata no amata ta bakele simple majority fang amata ta bakel so za try nkano so moli na katol wafi mbulu because not voting you are kind of ibe fam balikan nyantole la me alonko atli important nyantol fam beti banku di yakono banku di ya ni amoy dawdande ni americano le kilo ki jang pour ni kamala isi kato mo fi si kato fay ila karte fayo na man keno ila kumaya amman taraje ita buka banko la decision buka fen fono je e kanyi mani botol men samana le nan ani sukur botol wal karifula karisaba abibanna na banta ite jela ñun te continuer pour kana ka kodo dialla memba la balu wo sambandila bar hana telefon bi wala ke kan ifan nante mira la imanya na selfish la itare kun kilingo da ma kungono ma nante mira la banku dingol la welbin la ngal hospital ro sodo la ba ni mari men kana ka kodo dina ay muneke banko ye me ya lonko ite ya lon fa ñi anan dokol men nante kala ñi na government be ñaadi le a corrupt taliban ñi na government ye promise men di yakele ban amari men be siring ñi na government ka ta kule ban na security be ñaadi le kadu ngajele mo fal be ñami Gambia wonana bu ko sodo non before mol be bunjangol lola men ya lon ko science wol be jaajemela government o kono inana man hani nyantam bu lono akodo kabo min akaji santo le ba inin jumala be do kola inin masakunda ya mun fu wala kodo muna de men nyinin ka ninte nite be do kola ngaje ko ibe nyinkele nante na mind put la ngaje ko at least ni mari be nyin nola nyaadi le bari o mantara kere because muna mobile ba takan be woji Gambia so ni wo mo kuti banko bita nyaato nyaadi development be kenola nyaadi ata kenola because muna mbukalong ntul citizen bukalong ko do men kana Gambia momo ni nata ani president way kullo akay ko lafta fenn la jang lafta fisri lolo la jang wara lafta nyine ke la jang baro contrat ko nyi a better Gambia dingul bijele min yan ko so contrat ko sudo no anu new yo sudo is employment no create no Gambia dingole ayele nyanto samba nyato bar munatina president warang alamulu ibuka contrat ko di walla je mu mira lalati ibuka dila because woltina la duma ye wulol dila because of contract ko la ko wol ba frante mu Gambia dingolde ninte be contract ko dila na mbe jola munala ito kodo sud la woda abe mu corruption wolte nga corruption wala sifa jama tanda la tende a jarta wo president wala le wana jarta wo ala government do ko lale ye mu bonan China wo Chinese o ayna ay million ta ay safe du ay dundu tablo ko do dumala ya bule la jifo kon ye contract ko dela baro imam men long wala wo Chinese o do million men dilela abina project ko me ba dilala Gambia abina adala falale ay way fine abo million me adila aba sot la bak nyadile Gambia no al ngam mira amanka ko Chinese o do million men dilete politician o iti amera ko ha ayon so walale wobina jolale iko contract ko men diala abina Gambia no le sofandila wala na nyemuro dabe serling Gambia wala na balu nyabe ser kan Gambia because kodo men ka di masakundala dumala corruption wala karola business lal men yalon ko masakunda chance dile kana banko kan wol fanan kila fengol da serindi wala nyam because iko kodo nyina facto la profito kon bari ntolani leader soul iman kuning ima long wara niya long do self-fistal nuwante ito sonela banko itara yelo bonkan financially muna fonga la karola ibe nyim fancy fa entertain la so gambianol albaro la government jibe aleni cool men being a foten security balu wala karola fanko investment wala karola ya fahamle agricultural la karola medical area la karola anin karo karchama fontol mbe nyarata sodo kanjele fombe komata sodo kanjele fo new government aman chance do no bang bela na ko new Gambia nani platform to la wala fa falendiro keda me ko a falendiro abe kala la fo ye chance do etato Europe ko detail Belgium Brussels international community ko ina man Gambia nyode ye dictatorship bay jikol siata saying o kodol men be dunta nyim banko kan almanyin ka amal fanyin ka wala ba ajibe Gambia korongol buka soto ni business also do bi ibuka korong ila business naka depend korong kan amon possible ila business so ita because light ka to fall like tara sini don dimbaye fa until better moment to be 50 years na independence so anin sign time over 50 years han sign until man stable electricity so don't know until buka we are not in the state of the art. The only state of the art until be dam into wolem telephone. Ni ko telephone ken do wol be gambe ani motol. Because men be tubab do men be outside wolel called mostly sponsor. Ani ni ko bungol. Bari silol masakunda nan to la men beto. Ani in local government and focal man deraje. Ni taranto la bakote nyol do ini moto kala fila soma solta al kala fila buntanal ika moto fama jenkendele te tam ni tara ino dula do hakala ngolto fengo molka ji ika tama fonko kono ji kono ini ika musul je fengol duni ko ngodo ini ibe tamala e dinol muta o jinolon kono ibe tala ni masakunda ba daila are not doing enough. The excuse so tala moye men nata power with a coalition banko be kaf nyola international community na dictatorship by na opportunity based on developmental agenda for 5 years ima fulfill no men fo ko ani ku ya wara ni governmental anu lafta voter soli hakil to back wala mu reform agenda fenne mankeje wonyum malo anyon nikuya anyon sondo motoro brimbaye wulu nana maje reform agenda miyalon ko wolna de Gambia kala concrete map miyalon ko mota sosola na constitutional because of selfish interest nanyi politician anu mantala mokilim blame kande ya fay gabe jokon imam benno kanto amalo anikuya anani toro awarata. Secondly, Jana Commission, financial responsibility. Wole fong important. Niamwe sign, mboka dictatorship nga finance level. But financial responsibility, ni wol imol discipline, imol slandi wala. Banko na tetala nyaro. Sumbalel bento la Gambia. Sungol marufo abe Gambia le na system okono. Birin jawara time ikotota je fo karonta sign ye sulol dum so nimo uproot anti-corruption bills nga implement nga make sure I molita jail ikamoji ya bulo city ikwaye moneke amamo fakede amamo libade e kay kodole sunya masakundala kodo ya fay jail 5 years no damanto woman start kake Gambia no to sunyaro bulal ka fo me jawra la time ka fo ko ni Sadio Sile damanto ake dañi no wolto mun kuma sifalti Sadio Sile damanto ake dañi no wolto ni moy ñakalan kala be damanto ha jol man siya woto man sekunda e jol siyande ya make sure that ikbe jol men dila molla aning molla baluwe match isaji to sunyaro kala bari ñina tena na banko tala lado andu ñin bank ñin masakunda man fenne ka wodo na ma lafa amatala so reform agenda afente TRRC fanam banta ngaji me munebe kala wodo mol men mol la nyanto te bulu ye fa ye la dunya tinya e be kamanta man Gambia kono ya jamme be jana oba diamala fay mo me alon ko telephone captain of all this but nejo fo be hanyala wala because dule masakunda la solo mi alon ko amang ko sulo tala amang ako sulo man bamba to ka for me it doesn't have a backbone so adult voters will ali 1 week less or 5 days nin tole ya alma ali ala karto di almanya na di la damido e ko labun na jano abuka fo dabo koma dabo membe so bun kono nako labun la jaro atman wala
but that one is too high for me now. You have to explain to me.
Alala the bed box the burning of the house doesn't happen in the absence of the bed box.
Okay.
So if we are all in a bed box and the house is burning, let's expect that we all gonna pay the consequence.
Also, so that's it. That's why.
Just left them in for the drum in the last show before the election. Alala karto alkano somoya wafi albulu akasan albulu. Atele important the film beti dunia kono sai because all about this na future be kala nyame. Secondly, ala jibe the best candidate nto so nola wamantara caring. Best candidate water caring. Ntol mantara patito ntol bejanne pour ntol fane na role play as impartial folks nka cool tande mola. Ala jibe pati men closter men sa at least fisayano. Ni pati be problem mo so ne bulubaji be e problem moja ne maraji be problem moja. Bari jumale fisata mbe situation no men kon kata nyami nal ko baro le fisata kan wala fisata ñun fanan beti then wodo ale make sure that ale proof so that ale alon ko wala be caring you are certain then ate tambe banale moje me alon ko wala fanan fisayata as ngani area men be discuss as improvement o kenoje ala fay way ando alnga piske hey ning carte fayo abe fairlal ananta fairlal because sport counting them malafi fanan nganajan Sunday karba fulam bita court listen before that ila doko ke sai do ye finti tell election ko yela mol fintinde pare ye imanson transportation manso do janale ye mol sinonde ye pilole di molla ye sinota ye carte sunya malafi lo ko masifa moyla ibe mol men kala ala pool station olto afoye hani be sunnale e kana fe min nyamo because ko wala e ka foko ha kar nyolbe be bor kesol kala jiko afoye sun tilikilenam ka sunne fo carte keso e count ay bang man la fi excuse na jang ha memboyta e ko bi ka mbiro boy adadi ma mbiro na ko e banko ma sa he barakastale he insu wala fekere ko ba folto wala no malla filo mayla baro ya fako ngo ndefo ma nyinkel o nying padi do ya fa ani karto contest spot nimmen sinota je way sunya je itel hajo moy fa wala hajo because inanta make sure la ila moy taraje jigita menna a nyaayel carte kiso kan ay compte anyama so lafta kayro la na banko kan malla fi fuel le dale shut down any kind of foul play malla fa la ni election auto nimbaro confident fan la ko ate Gambian convince la pour que win I okay with everything double IEC If you two mess create already, GMC and in Citizen Alliance. They may told ya, IEC. Alala house get together. Ali fata Gambian la carte favor. Ali dukoke. Alkana mo favor. Ali ko comment to lanyi platform benyame. IEC. Albenda kumo moikan. Ali alal dabondi Gambia la future. Gambian only decide. Mo kanal bribe. Mo alkana party favor. Because Citizen Alliance ko atole bali pour kalo. After court case winter. My party fanang the same thing. Aliola party aliola campaign tinya. Amam betia. Alal dabondi je. Ndebe wala fala. Ndebe wala soda mbeme fala.
Yeah, Mr. Sawane, I mean, this is also, thank you very much for your advice to the Gambian people. I mean, I can understand with my little Mandinka what you mean. I think you hit it on the head. Yeah, I mean, it's very important, you know, that people know that it has to be peaceful, because everything is done peacefully till now. And even people who has problem with IEC, they go to court and try to clear it. And I hope that the rest and IEC also will learn from that end and try to make everything to be a fruitful and peaceful election. And I'm also very happy that there is also a lot of peace between the opposition. Fighting and biting, some insults somehow, which is sometimes provocation from all the parties, which is normal in election and politics. But it's not very serious. You know, that's the good in it. People are coming, and our traditional election is changing, also getting better. You know, and I hope as time goes on, people will be aware more about their responsibilities and why do they even go and take this action to vote in this election. Because I think sometimes I have the feeling that most of them, if I say people laugh, many people still understand the whole thing as a Christmas celebration, you know, and many are always excited to run after these politicians, which I always feel sorry. I mean, they are part of it. They feel that they are part of it, and they believe that politicians and then giving everything. They don't even eat. You know, that's why it's always very sorrowful when those people take place and never even think about them. You understand? So many people try to understand this game and try to be careful, but many, especially the young people, they don't. They believe in that person, you know, and do everything. But in Africa, it's always the case. That is not always Gambia. After that person will try to make himself rich and don't even know your name again. And you dance, you died, you traveled with them every corner, starving days, you know. So, but it's part of it, because most of them, they used to take it even as football teams, you know. I am for Real, I am for Walidan, you know, I am for Manchester, without even knowing the real reason why they are voting. As Sawana said, that is their life. They should try and understand it. I think I said it also at the beginning. That is not a joke. That is not dancing and, I don't know, wearing t-shirts, different kinds. That is serious. That's their life. They have to know it. You know, politicians themselves should tell them that. But I know, in their case, they'll be afraid. Well, they tell them that, and they are not ready to do it correctly, or they are not doing it correctly, those people will run away. But for me, nobody should vote me that I tell them lies. So, but that's the fact. Even here in Europe, that's the way. You have to think of your own part. What do I feel? Whom do I think will bring or better my life? You know, Doesn't matter if everybody is criticizing that person or everybody is supporting that person. You yourself, individual decisionist, you yourself, go to your bed. Don't think of what your father is saying, your mother or sister, or which party they are. Think of yourself. How am I going to better my life and the Gambia? So, and try to make no mistake by voting. That is very important. Try to be neutral, have your own opinion, and do that for yourself and the rest of the Gambian people. So, Mr. Sawana, you talked here about corruption. I always come with the right thing again. You know, when you say corruption, they'll say because the Gambia is poor. But we all know that Gambia is not poor. So there must be something going wrong. We are having the resources, but we don't know how to make money out of it. People come from outside and pay their license for $250 and make that business billions outside in front of our eyes. And it's from our own soil. And we have to be corrupt because those people came again and throw us some dollars. We see one individual will try to make even benefit out of it, build his own or her own, but not the Gambia. So that means Gambian people are still not having anything out of it. Just certain individuals are playing with it. They think that they are smart. And the people they are dealing, they know that they are fools. They are fooling them. They are fooling the whole Gambia. Because imagine I just come and try and give you some changes for your license. You give me your whole fees where your people feed. You understand? And the money you get from me, you cannot even feed your people. So what is that for a business? Your people are getting hungry because I bought all the fish with just a small paper. I gave you something so that you can go and build your villa. You keep quiet. You have a nice villa, everything, but your people are suffering. The people are suffering. Gambians are crying. We hear it up to Europe. They don't have fish to eat. So people should, I don't know who is going to rule the next time, even if it is Barrow, he should take the time and try to go over all these licenses.
Exactly.
Whether they should be and what is the benefit of the Gambians. What are the Gambians going to benefit from it? Is it necessary? Or you just cancel this thing? Even if the people with license have to get money, you give them their money back and try to use and follow the steps what they were doing to make billions out of your own resources. You understand? That's what Ghana did also with their coffee. They got a lot of presidents, but nobody came of the idea that they can take their own coffee and make more money than what they take and sell it to Swiss. They mix their chocolates and make billions. Exactly. Africans, yeah. We used to say God make Africa poor. No, it's the other way around. God make Africa rich. Exactly. Africa is the richest continent. We are working on gold and every kind of resources on our feet, but we don't know how to use it. Exactly. To realize to make it real that we are rich. If you have all resources and you don't know what to do with it, we are a poor guy, and we are poor. We are slow in everything. We are slow in economy. We are slow in politics. You understand? Even if you go to UN there, when they are talking, when the African presidents start to talk, there is nobody in the hall. You understand? Do you observe that? Because they feel that these people are not bringing any sense here. So why should they waste their time? That is very sad. Yeah. That is the saddest thing. When I see African president come out to talk sometimes, you only see two people sitting there listening to them. So we are slow in everything. So for me, yeah, let me stop here and give some chance. I mean, that's the best advice I can give people. Take their time. Yeah. And do the right thing, not for them, but for the others too, to be fair. Okay, Sam, you can come in.
Sam
I'll refer to Famara. Famara come in. I think we lost our sequence. So Famara come in first and then, yep.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks,
Allah
Alice.
baraka bake. Sawana ye point dantana for kumata bake, Alex Fana and then Alas. I think recently ngana dina nyaton kul fana jere. Inata nanka funti minka Christian or ni Muslim multi. Ibe nata pruka tandi mulla ko election of filanga nyatringala. Se dunje bismillahir rahman rahim nga finti je kaira kono. Mobe nyola bunyala ni respect. Ngamer wo kumata bake. Andung nanata political karola. Nkalla moy dina nyaton kol fana la bakele so wala na kumata bake na jumangol to fo juman salo lombang kutubo lombang wala even sal nyin sal kotengol min yalla gon ke jamengol to akumata bake pour na dina nyaton kol wato wati na church nyaton kol enim banko mol ka diamu ke hakilo bulandi because tumando da kudo bije ete la mo la president ka memfo wala ete la mo la minister ka memfo batumando ni la dina nyaton ko e kuma sifa fo e se la moy noir yaaje so wol kuma ta bakere pour ka dina nyaton ko moy wati e ka funtina hana manke election of on dammat ni yaaje ko kube ke kan banko ka miya lonko anim banko la yuruwa manta anim banko la nyatata manta e manyana ke dey andung na Christian Council nana da tonya fola nu o sifa da lan keje bakere bari na muslime kunda bakere tumando nkajele dobije kumo dolbe ke kan bari bike diamu kawlo moy molia expect tumando isa fontino la ne kadiamu ba on la president on nyaton kolbe muslimolde aniaji be gambia muslimol fonsi ala je christianol ando yaaji muslimol sometimes min yalon kon tel ko wolle mun della nyaton kolde politician la karola e ka ko dolke min yalon ko definitely niani islamo jibiani islamo manta yaaje bari ni dina nyaton kolye de wol sifal fe fo keta fo inata ke kuti mi yalon ko molia muta ko kusifal le beteata wolle be political sambala nyato deni bajel wo fana aben na peace and stability nyim fana about threaten na la sate kono banko kan so dina nyaton kolo be tentura bake be jayla e ka funti wati ana manke election o damade bar ni aje ko banko ko bita kan nyame because president fana be sulore molle la min yalon ko sa yamara no of course mobi jele mi yalon ko wala mala dina advice at minka advice dino la karola nin dina nyaton ko le kuje mi yalon ko maybe president ba ke kan wala kube ke kan masakunda kono dina nyaton ko se futano mari la le ko ma kan futande president la nitil mo futano president wala yaje so wolum kule de mi yalon ka kumada your funding kel fana la karola is very important because banko nka depend na funding kel la kan bawo sembo be tele bulu ika sembo min soto ika jate kende ya min soto president do ta kala no ni anyim political campaign ol jibe min bebe ke kambi funding kele ko leje borikan convoy no kan kabo brikama fo kombo tuwa banko ni tara yura ar fana ni blado do fana ko funding kele jibe dolbe cycle kan dolbe suol kan dolbe motorcycle kan ba dolbe je wol ka tame singolale because jate kende ya be bulu symbol be bulu e se okay no lo wotile kando kono ame batandi ba nen ke ba ka ba okala te okela no so woto funding kelo akumata le itella fatara dawda yetaraje bare nin anata bankola nyaatu tala nin kairo sabatin dola e fana sita ni hakilo la bake yella moy be patil min represent kan yella moy ila nyaaton kolla e kana tariya ka kulike min ya lonko tumando ila party man agree wala because nkawol fana bejel yaje comme like president karte fayoke kontiro ke nyin tundudo e wini bake nyin tundudo be jana maybe black electro je pour contrôler bank danta ye finti dron genin IC bala official declaration okila atelier a commencé kada sila bala kan de jubilation okila albe motor people mala albe molda bundal pampan na jana albe kul folami alon ko animanta wolbe manga kutemi alon ko nyantam wol stapula right now mo kana finti sila kan sako ka celebration ke na trema IC moy official communication ok announcement ok andum funding ke la ko woke baake so nyante fana yamar lo fanna la baake na musoli ka active politico kono baake banana da nyin fitina wulindo ni nyin fen ko la baake e daka doya auto baake musol dal daka doya ma fona so nim problem bije na nyaton ko lo na politician and of course ali IEC fana la kumo fo mi alon ko atelo banko bera nyaton ko na carte file karo ndede ngaji ko sore la karo of course despite all this happening ngamira wo nya yelo ti puitel fana pour ye nya yele je because ne loi be bulo e nyanta loi taman la nyame you know abe saferin ne you understand wala na nyin kitol back and forth be kata in nyin political party floor fi mi appeal dundi inata kanye but sai han sai appeal nyin abitama kanne ba wol fana IC fana file ye high court fana la appeal nyin you know if I go they went against that the appeal dundi le wala nyinti ko itele min ko wala lota but nyin political party le min ya lonko ya feel ko e mankol tamande nyanda min kala nomination form wala nyanta mol mi stola administrative area ma also to han sai ko amantambi because kunum bella mo ke la press release la ngami la media communication officer lam you know abe communication or ke kan ako amantambi so wolam nyenti ko my party ning CA coming ya fuko inyam imandamin fulfill if you can still provide that information you know coming court ya landi nyame tumando han sai the race mantambi but min biye wolam nyenti ko ite campaign o kala no sign because court case lebe ke kan damantam court case mo ruling ge ko definitely yes nyene be loring anta nyinke ite campaign o kala no but han kabi dama bonde boro nyin kono folo because IEC ko I pareta kamale kadu ko ye kodo sotole because be tel be la budget ol dala ye budget ol dala comme political party tanning say wolom 18 political party ye budget ol sotole la pro wole ba dadum la no nyum political carte fawto but say wona de talafo woro so even last minute ning kotia order ko nyum political party flori nyanta murna ida sila then logistical arrangement woman ke la problem that's not their problem at all so they are ready to do that so abole nyama so sam fana kumadofo minkeda na immigration la court I think every polling station there should be an immigration officer there not only the security mini alon ko be je fenkala because ntekaji Gambia damalto hankabi iti Gambia ko jela bitala Senegal ka dum Senegal la politiko kono fukata ka Senegal la kayto nyine pour ka register je ntena maji anita ji la Gambia ko eta jina bisa ko sifala keje fo Gambia ko lumbe sabateri jina bisa bar ntella carte fa onata ke kulta mi alon ko ntella politician ol mini alon ko imang honest to the system imang honest to themselves imila banku diya fonka baki wala kaka multi mini alon ko e ka mol fintin de nam banta kane samba nam puru dankoro wol sine mako no so ibaji la ko ntella carte fa o among 100% free from those kind of things still we have some unscrupulous foreigners many alonko eligible to vote but they will use every avenue using our corrupt politicians kajiko isedadu no nyamiam so na immigration la lodlado fanala akumata bakel momo yalonko imang eligible ka carte fay ninga na voters card je bulu etenyante fon explain nale yo voters card ñu soto nyaadile andu loi min fo fana wala nyande tamale kan woda maslahat woto because womo kilon la carte kilon ñi as a banko ñi nasin dinole as a banko no problem ko non because tumando o kaste kete kilon bita la fala bla dami ya lonko tumando o manke banko la kairot bar wona ke so ibajala ko way kol samana nyaato so wolum kultamina ko nyata hakilo la back so nyinkay mo fondinke la karola dina nyaton ko la karola musul na masakunda anin fana electoral commission ni dara electoral campaign ni violent min be ka banko kambake nyaaji be nyum fanal lombake but sending education be la faka na baka mo be je kanne ba social media be sharing platform be sharing nin ku kede drum molka follow straight away the National Council for Civic Education major active la back dal I don't know if until me miss ba malo but they used to do previous election e ka mol kara de bakele carte fawle because ning election o dindin jamal bi jemini yaron ko ma fay no 2016 bi will be 18 years or sign this is going to be their first time ka carte fay so e nyanta alon nale luwal be la re nyaadile e ka carte fay nyaadile minami la right toti e nyanta minekela manyana minkela wol be nyanta bole nyotora inshallah isa je kon se carte fay so mi yalon ko abe kala kairo kono besel la moy ni mi la carte fayta si sokono yella moy radio la wala television la ni ICA announce ko min winta be nga tambo nyaato for the next 5 years no banko samba nyaato ngam pare election do la ko tanke min nyanta na la membe kala parliamentary election no fana buta dum den e baajelo ko next 5 years wala be kala next carte fawde sen bese si ngam bulo kafu nyokan no banko samba nyaato because a lot of opportunity in all the miss sawane ya fo ala diamo konole kabirin coalition government nata na jele European Union ye pledge minke wo pledge o nying han kabi man tap into that pledge. So that means that we had 1.7 billion euros mini alongo nyanta munafana la mamuna fana nyanta munafana la nyame. Of course kodo dunta banko kana nyi wato kono project ko keta, but coalition government nata dalilo minkan wala nyende ko left falingondiro la kela. So falindiro minentinga constitution kudo sodo na civil service reform na security reforms ke nga TRRC fana tamanda nyende tamanda nyame wolum the fundamental pillars of our new democracy, because wala tina mbe lata nyoka nga dictator by, because banko bitaka nyame the 22 years it was not good. Journalists will be disappear la mobi kale kata dami fenkol be kala gana mobi kale bitala dami yaje. So will be mkulo timi ya lonko I am but on the back last past 22 years and love to qualifying. So to konima sekunda natina genim be mirala ka bridgeol lo kasilo dada mini alonko kumata bari the basic fundamental principles of our newfound democracy was to have these foundations. Many alonko wollebe mako the next government going or the next coming administration coming about a new foundational builder. We have the system in place. Then then banko ka somebody's next level will be very easy. But that this means that amanta mihan kabi, I think that when the next administration come in, we can fast track this issues many alonko nyanta kele manke, especially constitution. Yalonko kodi jama duntaje dono solie partner solie kodol dinna anyim fo be kele disappointment bati coming lafta nyene kala, but only on few things disagree to wala wiati nako wo constitution on nyeng nga fight dosbino kono, but amon fight dosbino kono nak because mba recycle la na back nga jibe ku kota mini nyanta kala lafa ay lafa je den sa new constitution also, because nya jamela constitution of 1997 wole betama kan at this point in time, and a simple majority, and a simple majority is hanenge dan karte kaza kilena ndela winter hana tara ko album 50% also. So wole nyin karte fa nyum fon be critical ndina wala na diamol siata campaign siata mobe be dunna fengo bela dola abe jarle ko bela chew kamol mobilize kata blal beto kaji ko se karte fa kilimo so no nyaadile ka banko sama nyaado inshallah. So ala baraka ba.
Thank you very much. You explain everything, I think.
Yeah, Sam can come in, and then Alas, you can wrap it up. I guess
I'll do my final wrap up here. For me, I think between the four of us, we've elaborated a lot on this, and I really thank you all for the parts that you're playing in here. This is a civic education center, and we're here to really help people understand the pros and cons and things that we really need to watch for. So, Farmer, thank you for what you just said too. Thank you so much for that. Thanks, Alice. Thank you, Mr. Sawani.
Thank you, Sam.
This is important. Elections is very important. I'm going to say just a little bit about the CA and the GMC issue with IEC, because I think they did the right thing. If IEC rejects their application or rejects their nomination, IEC has the burden of proof to prove to the court why they were rejected. And if that gets to the Supreme Court and the Supreme Court rules, whatever the ruling is, that is what we all need to accept, and everyone need to accept that. So for Citizens Alliance and GMC to take their case to court is the right thing. I support them 100% for that. That's transparency. That's what we want, the right thing to be done, and not to allow any particular party to be eliminated from the contest unnecessarily. So they did the right thing by taking to court. And I commend them for that. We need to set examples like that in Gambia. When something goes wrong, or a certain individual or a group or a party or organization, or even the government take the wrong step by doing something wrong, people need to be able to get up and challenge that to the court and let the truth prevail. Just like Yakumba Jeta's case, similar things like that. Anything that's wrong, it needs to go to a court, and let's take it to the court, let the court rule. And then we should all respect that. So coming back to this, just to finalize, just like I said earlier, IEC is the referee here, and a referee need to be very fair with the game. If not, they will create a problem for the country. If the country gets into a chaos or fight or anything that happened, it can be caused by IEC for not doing the right thing. So they really need to hold themselves accountable, all of their agents, everything, to make sure that the election is free and fair. If it's free and fair, we should all Gambians should accept the outcome of the election. If it's not free and fair, there is going to be chaos. That's what happens, and that's what brings that. For anyone that does a referee for any game or anything, if you're not fair, you're going to create a problem. So, and IEC has been an institution that has made errors in the past. We've all seen that. They've made errors and they came back and rectified themselves. This is very important. This year is very important to make sure that, yes, we say mistakes are allowed, but not always. And in this case, this mistake cannot be repeated. We cannot have a repeat in this. If you have a mistake, you make a mistake, you need to correct it and then double check everything the next time you announce such an election. You need to make sure that everything is been cross-checked. Every aspect of it has been looked at, analyzed, make sure it's accurate, double check, triple check to make sure it's accurate before you announce. That way, when the announcement comes, people should accept that announcement as well. So long story short, all of this really, IEC has a big role to play there, being the referee of the game. But the rest of it lies in people's hands, just like what all of you said, what individuals need to do, what people need to do, and what they shouldn't do. And including that will be selling the voter registration cards. That's really illegal and should not happen. So I'm going to wrap it up here and stop here for now. So thank you all really for your time.
Thank you, Sean.
Okay,
You really explained everything also here and gave good advices. It's very important that people try to go according to, and when there is something that people go to court, because we have democracy and we have these rules that are keeping us in peace. So I used to say that always, we have to respect the laws because the laws give us the freedom we enjoy. So nobody should tamper with it or play with it. If there is anything wrong with the IC, making mistake or whatsoever, how to call it, so Dr. Ismail and I don't know my father whether he did his, I know of CA and it's the right thing. You go to the court and try to say, hey, look, I think I'm right, So the court is there also for that. They look at it and then they can do also their work, So rather than fighting or bringing problems which are just not important, especially making demonstrations, that is all nonsense now. If you have your right, we have the courts, go to the courts and clear that. Because going to the election, I would advise everybody to avoid, even if you are going to have permit, to avoid demonstrations or whatsoever. Because whom are you going to demonstrate for? Whom are you expecting to hear you? It's just a waste of time. You know that we are having a court. The laws are there. If you are wrong, all right, go there and try to clear it. Than organizing any nonsense now. The Gambia is very sensitive and cannot accept all those nonsense. But some people maybe will try to do it for their own good or their interest, just to make noise. And we don't need that in the Gambia. We are talking of the Gambia, and we love the Gambia. And we don't want anybody to bring problem there. If you bring problem there, it's your own thing. We'll leave the Gambia because we have seen it with Jam. We can do that again. So we have the court, and I support it. If anybody going to the court, I support that person also 100% because it's the right way, it's the democratic way. We are not in a dictatorship or anything. Anybody can go to the court if you are right, so that people live in peace. Even the election, if you win or you lose, if you feel that it's not okay, you can still go to the court. So This is democracy. Here, if you come to Germany, you have election. Sometimes some people forget about it. Really, I myself sometimes, because we used to have a letter, as a reminder. You have to go and vote. If I don't put it in my calendar, I also forget it because people are having other problems in their heads. And when they are voting for a change, for a betterment, or things like that. That's why their country is always going forward. So when I don't do it good, next time I vote some. If some not, then the next time, because that's why you have the 5 years. So you have 5 years time to look at that person, what he's doing, he bringing the country forward or backward. How is this? How is that? How is security? How is corruption? How is and the living of the people? These are all things you have to ask yourself. You're having 2 eyes. You look whether your own condition is it a betterment or things are worse with you. Before you eat 3 times a day, now maybe you eat 2 or you eat 5. So it's your own decision. That's why I said at the beginning, it's individual decision. Don't look, my friends are voting this person, I am going to vote that person. No, it's your own individual decision. Ask yourself, what am I going to have out of it? Even if all my friends are voting this person, even if all my family are voting this person, to be real, help yourself and help the Gambia, the rest of the Gambian people. I think to wrap it up, Mr. Sawane, I don't need to say much. I just wanted to say something, if I am allowed.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, because it's going over the internet that Mr. Barrow said the diasporans not. I got it twice sent to me too. The diasporans, some of them don't even have a chicken house here in the Gambia, and these words were not very nice. They were more negative, I would say. I would only say, we have a problem, and it's a mentality problem. I once said it here. If you tell the Gambian, you are poor, oh, he can heal himself. It's the worst insult. You understand? It's a mentality thing. Because of what? We think that you always have to get money to be somebody. You understand? You have to get money to be happy. Because that's how we understand all these things. Which is very different. If you come here in Europe, you know that they're all different. And that's why we have a lot of corruption. Because we know that Gambia don't have that money. We have the money, but the money is not there physically. So people want to live more than their standard. So that's where the corruption comes. Whether you are up or down. You understand? Because we have that mentality. Should I look on only what God gives me and try to be satisfied with it and try to be proud with it, then you are happy. That's all what we are looking. To be happy. The happiness we're looking for. But we believe that other things should take us there. No, sometimes it's in front of your house now.
Simple things, yeah.
What God gives you, if you are happy and put your eyes on it, you are okay. Here in Europe, you see some people, they're having billions, yeah? If they pass you, you think that it's raining the next minute. Yeah, because they are unhappy. Here you will understand that to have money and to be happy, they are 2 different things. That's why when you are an unhappy person, they say you are a poor guy. That's what these people mean with poor. Not to have money. You are a poor guy because you are not happy. You are always under stress and you are always, nobody seeing you laughing. That is poor. You are a poor guy. That's what these people understand. But our mentality is, I'm a Gambian. I live there. I know the way they think there. I know also that's my advantage. I know also how these people also think. I see 2 ways. I should always say I have the best. You understand? I have more. These are our problems. That's why nobody want to say exactly what he's really having. That's why they are in struggle. They are unhappy. They are always under stress because you cannot live more than what you are earning. from more than what you're earning. That's why they are all thieves. You understand?
Yeah, corruption.
They are all thieves and hypocrites. They tell lies. You know, they'll try to go to a party which they hope that will win so that they can also leave. And this is reality. You are seeing it. It's not that I am saying it.
Yeah. No, it's
so
true.
they are not. They are. Most of them are not real to themselves. So we have to understand that some people are in the diaspora. This is an advice to Mr. Barrow as a head. You are a leader. People look at you and hear what you're saying and believe in you. And you have to set a good example also, because people look at you. It has a big impact when you say something, whether it's an advice or insult, to the people, the Gambian people. So for me, I just wanted to say, as a president, I will not talk about anything bad about the diaspora, because everybody knows every 2-second house you see in Gambia is from the diaspora. Every second family you see they are living good from the diaspora. Barrow himself praised the diaspora here, 2016. The first thing he did, which I supported him, he knew what the diaspora did for the whole change. He turned his back and praised the diasporans. So the diasporans were also happy because we supported him also, because he was considering us as fighters. So, but he got new friends. Unluckily. And these new friends were our enemies. So it's definite that he will also turn back to the diasporans. That's how it came.
Exactly.
But the diasporans have no problem with that. He is thinking that he is having problems with us. No. We support every president who is there. We see Gambia, most of them, most of the people, I myself, I see only Gambia, and somebody who is going to take Gambia forward, and the people, because my sisters and all, relatives, friends are all there, And many of the diasporans, to say such words is a stress for them, especially the kids trying to build something here to help their families. If you don't encourage them, support them, don't discourage them, because it's very hard. I, as a president, it's my responsibility to make sure that Gambians are okay. You understand? They should not even kill themselves going over this person going to Europe, back way, or how to call it. They should be, because I am saying that I fight for presidency. I should take this responsibility to make sure that my people are good. Not only myself. That is easy. You know the responsibility of a president. That's why I was saying here all the time, all the people wanted to be presidents, but who are the people who are ready to work? We need people who want to work, and then not to work for themselves, but to work for the Gambia. So I will be very careful with such words to say the diaspora. The diaspora is open. Some are having it good, some are having it bad. Some are having it so good that they don't even have a chicken house in Gambia. Why? Because they have here their own homes and their businesses. Some will tell you, what am I going to do in Gambia? I don't want to go there anymore. Because they are okay. And they know that what they are receiving here, they'll never get it there. So there is no hiding or to see it as insult when some people don't have a chicken house. And I should not say that. Because if I am a president, I'm the person responsible. Why is that person leaving this Gambia even to go to the diaspora to look for a greener pasture?
Exactly.
I will be ashamed to even take out that from my mouth as a president, because it's my responsibility. That means I am doing something wrong. If I don't praise those people, then I should not throw them stones. So
In the
for
glass
me,
house, don't throw stones.
yeah, don't throw stones when you're living in a glass house.
Yeah, thank you so much,
So for
Alas.
me, that's my advice for everybody, and then I hope that everything is okay, because I think we'll see them after the election. Then that Sunday, yeah.
Yeah.
By God's grace, and I hope that many people and also
We'll be up night. Some of us will be up night the whole night.
yeah.
Thank you for bringing that up. Barrow appreciate the diasporans. When he came to power, he said you know, he always look at the social media and see what the diaspora and say.
I know,
and he
I know,
tempers
I
in the struggle,
know.
but all of a
I
sudden,
know.
just like you said, he
Yeah.
has new friends, and the new friends
As
are the
new
people
friends,
that we've been fighting before.
that's it.
The
So
people
through
close
that,
to
he
him
turned the back. Yeah.
at the State House
You're
were the
afraid
people
of the
who deny
diaspora.
him to be sworn in the country. You know,
Right,
so all of a
right,
sudden,
right,
you
right,
see those people
right,
very
right.
close advising him.
You
I
know,
mean,
we used to say
yeah,
that always. We used to say that all the time. You know, some will come because of their own interests. So as a
yeah,
head of
absolutely.
state, I'll be very careful. I'm not against of having friends, or some people will come overnight and say they are your relative, or I don't know. It's not my problem. That's their own thing. But as a head of state, you have to be careful, because many people are parasites. If they see where it's wet, they go there, just like mosquitoes. So being a head of state in Africa, you are a wet place for the mosquitoes. It's definite. But still, my advice is always try to filter, try to look at the people, reason. When they come, what do they want? Before, they don't know me. Now they're coming every day, every hour, and they want to sit even on my stool. Ask yourself a reason. This is just humanity. You should not be an intellectual to know that. So there you will know exactly the reason of coming near to you. So you have to be very careful. And you can see it. Some will stay there and say they are opposition, insulting or saying everything to Barrow. When they see that they have no chance, all doors are closed, they turn to Barrow and say, "Oh, Mr. Barrow, I'm going to endorse you." You are seeing it. I'm not saying it. You are seeing it. Is it true, Mr. Sawani?
Yes. They all rush to Barrow. So they don't have the interest of the country at heart.
So what should Barrow should also know that these people are coming because of reason. And these people, Barrow need them at the moment. You know? But unfortunately, most of them, they go alone, and their troop, they turn their back. Because
exactly.
they are
going for position and money.
So when their troop, their supporters, or the people behind them know that these people are parasites, they also feel disappointed. They turn also their back. You know, so
yeah.
it's just so. But Barrow himself, he knows exactly why some people are near to him. He needs
the
them
reason
now.
why you have if I contest against Barrow, that he's not a good president to take this country forward, I shouldn't join his party if I lose a nomination.
Yeah,
that is showing that I'm a joke. All these politicians who went to Barrow, they should be watched throughout the history of Gambian politics.
Barrow should watch
because you want to motivate it. Ito na ito ko lola. Naru yung manta lo purkay ifangole muna fang. Iko bi lor toro mansiala. Ika moment against nyaje be lole because mummy je ala kole me nyabo. Naru yung manta place ni wala. Ito nantinala no ito mang nomination win. Next time you work on your nomination purka win. But ito man yana na ita lawo kang iko man la fi menna amantra banko samba kan nyato amantra samba kan kuke ilata wo kan pro yewola ye fa another 5 years di wala to munafiki yalde.
Yeah, the funniest thing,
Gambian politics inanta wo mol jiben nale ikana jara fenna ko deke ikana ke fen Gambia, you know, because iman realistic. Ni bital la do ko inanta tala opposition no to because at least ini will be ko alman la fi nyimano membije aka banko samba nyame amanya na samba la wonyama ni dara any of the other opposition party ini will lata nyokang mba understand but ni dara eko membije wala ko adne to be lola president yala iman ke jele femote woro ite manya na la ka o malo fama jibe ba ha yara fo be jibe na nyaari le yara fa nyin kanyum wacha men ken na ko wala ala fa la ko membe nyame.
Yeah, the funniest thing is, Mr. Sawani, they say it within 1 week. They say they come again and say something very different. That's why I started with our problem is when I say it, people say, "Wow, we are fake," and we have to accept it. We are not real.
And
President
Baroka diaspora attack. So John demanding because President Barola first meeting Jang in New York. The town hall meeting. And there I was the key organizer of that meeting. I used to represent the community, New York community, And Baro, you have Alkal Conte representing the government side. Don't let them meet all the time. New community meeting was wrong, message translate. What time we even had question and answer session. But it told politician killing all. Yakobe dundi nyamo kono. Ngata hotel do puruka question and answer session. Puruka Baro engage. Ibantam bilta. One with that Alkal Conte. Ibantam bilta. Yakobe think iko president in no, this is New Gambia. Fonga Baro nyininka. Na you know Gambia no na town hall meeting fonga nyininka. But in other feral ke, ye feral ke, former successful no. Until fonga program calendar be design. For the stage okang ya hijack. Paroma interrogate. Paul Mulbundam for Seattle, for Wisconsin, for everywhere in the world. In America, sorry. In Ato Pro Town Hall, Mulman President engage no. Wadu lenga lonko, ni mulmen be President Bala. Definitely, iman lafi mulla New Gambia lafta naman sa nyami. Nga engage nyami, physical responsibility nyami man lafala. Mul na do Town Hall to they are not too happy because President man question on yininka at the teledron. But no the tunda each state should have a representation. Ndorfong the stage I was in the stage, but until monkey MCT. But until the program will be designed, but they hijack it. Yeah. So what is happening is what time when Nimboro Kafako diaspora and Kalama wall. Sign Nimboro Wilta, Akoda some Baffinoti, diaspora will chicken Dolby Wolman, chicken house of Fonsudo Gambia. Fine. But diaspora Gambia move today. No one Gambia be diamond for honey bunyima, honey moto kendo, it has to lajay. Yawra time oji me watu me mulman siya pro travel to diaspora. Diaspora is doing their part. But the thing is diaspora ten nonsense women tanola. Well government BJ imantara think football kikan. Ebe kuma bal fala. Diaspora to accept la. Amanka ko we are against somebody. We are against what is going on. Membe takekan na mola. Anto leka batan na mola nke balundi. Ila responsibility if offending so ikan to layer. Ita malo ning diaspora mantara ken there be a civil war. Ni mol mom bol so de bitanya pila masakunda leka. Ye kilo wulendi. So masakunda found and to tend to lale. To let the contribution to make it to the GDP of the Gambia. It's a lot. So need to connect for diaspora will come in Diama Kensan. You know, like will Dolby will form a chicken house or so Gambia warang Mubafino. I'm not faso because if you have a diaspora before, you borrow from a diaspora before. A farmer for water I take a do work at 20 hours. I will for no. I have transportation from one place to one place. Then I go. So I tell you how diaspora is. Yeah. So yeah, Sam, you can come and we wrap it up. You know, come up. Sometimes you do more for
Yeah, you know, with this, I'm glad Alice brought this up. You know, I just want to say a little bit about on that, just a little bit. You know, it is very important as a president to really watch what you say and what you do. Just like Alice said, you know, presidents need to lead by example. And definitely, we all heard when Barrow came in power, what he said about people in the diaspora, what they've done, you know, and the diasporans are very strong and very powerful because we have the influential power to influence people to vote or not to vote for certain individuals. We have that. And everyone in the diaspora came from a family in Gambia. And they feed those families most of the time, and they have that influence. So diaspora is very important. This is a very important group of people. And the other part I wanted to say is to say that diasporans don't have a chicken house in Gambia. I mean, this is all, I mean, very petty. I mean, that should not be coming from a president. But what I want to ask is the people in power, the president and the government, where do they live and what was their life before they get into this position? All right. And another thing is, if we all reflect back to that and think about how they were before, and not only that, the other thing is, you remember when Jammeh came in power, they looked back to Jawara's people and really created a commission that looked at their assets and everything, because we all know what their salaries are. And we all know too today that some of them are building story buildings in Senegal and different parts of the world. We know that. Well, when Barrow came in power, there was a commission. Guess what? The next president is going to have another commission that is going to look back into all of their assets, knowing what their salaries are, and confiscate everything that they own. And at that point, we will see who has a chicken house in Gambia, government officials or the people from the diaspora. We'll find out. That's all I want to say.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's not something that we criticize him also. It's just an advice, because maybe I have sometimes the feeling that his lack of advice also, because the advisor I used to see and hear as advisor, I think most of the time he can advise himself also. It's also very okay. If he's not sure, he can go up. He can even go up to the courts and then, and ask them, because sometimes you can have a ministry of, say, cars. So you just put him there because of maybe nepotism or because he fights for your, how to call it, team or so. But to advise you, he can't. We have to be real and take some things like that very seriously. That minister cannot. He can only give you garbage. So you as a president, when you know that, sometimes think your own self. Go to bed and think about it. If not, if you can even call the EU and I don't know, or your Ghana president or good presidents in Africa.
Look up to somebody. Look up to another leader.
That's what I mean.
Who is doing good?
Because we are human beings. Doesn't mean that you should know everything.
Paul Pagami.
That's it. Look at presidents. If you want to be good, you look at people who are good.
They wouldn't mind to. They wouldn't mind to. But if you look up to a corrupt president,
that's it. But when you have something very important for 2 million people, you just go and ask somebody. You know yourself that his qualification is not that to give you advice about that. Then you can be only making mistakes. There's no doubt, because the person giving you advice, he himself don't know. So why can't you just think of yourself? If you are a president, but you can even think further. So use that advice.
That's one criteria that Gambians should look in this election. Somebody who can reason, who has personally can reason beyond and to the expectation of the public. Ningambenoli would identify those are the kind of people you put in leadership, because Nimoli advice, you take the advice and look at it, and you use your reasoning. And you analyze and make a decision out of that. You
reason yourself first. If you are not so,
if your reasoning is very low, and if somebody advises you, that person's advice overcome your reasoning.
Give you garbage also, and then
if that person is wrong, you are blunders.
You are out. You are dangerous. It's dangerous.
You have any final thing before we wrap?
So what I just wanted to say is maybe Barrow was meaning a certain group of people or a certain individual, and try to indirect it and make it popular, because the names are not named, but the diaspora come out very big, which is everybody.
Yeah, but in that case,
that's why I said, that's why I said, he should be careful of his words, because being a president, you have influence in certain ways. You have to be careful what you throw out there, and don't throw it out and then laugh about it. It hits back, because who is responsible from the whole thing?
Right. I mean, you need to know how to throw to other people.
How to throw the stone when you are living in a glass house.
Exactly.
Because I cannot be responsible.
If you to other politicians, that's fine. But if you throw it to people who are us, who are actually out here helping, then people can get upset, and that can cost you votes.
Yeah, but look, I cannot be responsible and then saying something which is going to come to me back, because if I am the president now of the Gambia, I am not, but I'll make sure that the youths don't even leave Gambia. There are many countries who are not leaving their countries. Look at Kenya; you hardly see them back way or all this nonsense.
Yeah,
they take care of the youths. They give them the chance and everything. They don't go to back way also. Kenyans, if you see Kenyans leaving, maybe sometimes they go to United States or Canada and study and something.
Because Kenya has worked on themselves. When they
The
realize
youths,
that
they
they
have
come together
chance.
in a system, look at the
That's it.
taxes. They don't have many mineral resources. They are
I was
dependent on taxes that they collect.
I was doing here business. I was doing here business with Philippines. You know, I introduced the same business in the Gambia. You know, because in Kenya, almost all the youths are busy with these things. Most of them, they build their houses, even very young boys. I tried to introduce in the Gambia this thing. We were there. I even took here a holiday. We went in and out. I think my whole holidays was just going to Minister of Trade, and I don't know how to call it. After 2 weeks, I just left and then leave the group continuing this. And nothing come out of it, Mr. Sawane, you believe it, up to today. Business plan and all nonsense. So look at that. So that was the chance for the youths also. But nobody cares. Nobody cares. I know all of these things. We don't want to.
Anyway, I hope I hope that comment doesn't cost him votes, because like people are really this last.
We should not take it. We should not take it to heart. I used to say it's election time. The tension is high also, but still, I have to learn what I throw out, because sometimes it can be more dangerous than what he means.
So any prediction of the election, guys, before we go?
Yeah, for me, I just say there will be a surprise, and the rest, I will let the people surprise themselves. I know already.
Surprise? You think there is one particular party that can surprise beside NPP and UDP?
Yeah, there are parties already set.
Okay, so
yeah, that will be PDOIS.
No, I'm not going to mention any name. I only know and have the feeling.
I have to watch out for Mama Kande.
I only have the feeling, and from my statistics from 2016, then coming to right now.
Yeah,
maybe I can be wrong, but I know that
the PDOIS. I'll be curious about PDOIS. Is we are hopeful. I'll be curious about Mama Kande, but I know the general public are thinking is between MPP and the UDP.
Yeah, because they are always on the TV. You understand what I mean?
What about ESA? ESA is also
if you look at UDP 2016, it was huge, but GDC was bigger than UDP. Was it that? Am I right?
UDP by itself at that time?
Yeah. And UDP was a whole. You understand what I'm talking? That's why I say I took my statistics from 2016 coming. So when we are when you ask me,
where are you going to work?
When you ask me, I will just blindly say UDP is divided into two. You understand what I mean? The half is to Barrow, the half is by Dam. Am I right?
I would not say exactly two, but I would say maybe 60 to
it's half.
70 to
it's half.
60 to 70.
Or whatsoever, People run from UDP to Barrow, go with Barrow, and then UDP original is no more there. I mean, it's no critic. I'm just trying to give you my analysis.
Okay.
And I'm not for UDP Barrow or UDP Dabo.
Okay. It takes some people away. Yeah. So
yeah, it's just an analysis from my side. That's why I say the UDP was.
Now come to Kande. Kande, what has Kande gained? Kande Barrow took some from him too.
No, Kande.
Yes.
Barrow took only maybe some MPs, but not the whole.
He took some supporters from Kande as well.
Yeah, you see, many were saying also half of them are gone. That was GAP. You understand? GAP. I don't know.
So let's analyze this.
And this gap is back to Kande again. That means this what went away.
GAP is back to Kande again. Now
you have GDC again. I don't even talk about APRC, but you have GDC again. That gap is back already full Kande again. Apart from the parliaments by Barrow took it, because he always take one.
National Unity Party also come from GDC. Some of the National Unity Party.
Maybe there is movement from 2016 business. Even UDP can even have more from the people who went to.
Has UDP gained? Has they gained?
Yeah, I mean that's what I say. Maybe people go from UDP to Barrow,
I
and
think
then UDP also
I think UDP
gained.
maintained, except the people that Barrow took away, UDP maintained. They didn't gain much.
Yeah, but it's a movement, and in between is a lot of movement. I used to say, you know,
Okay.
some people can be moving to Usainu also as support. So that means the people who went to Barrow, that can be a benefit of UDP. You know, sometimes it goes like that. But we just taking the numbers
So
from
based on your
2016.
analysis, you think Kande has a chance?
Very well. That's why I told you there are how to call it, parties in the set. People should be careful because we are till now distracted from UDP.
Okay.
You know, UDP. Because
So what about
UDP Barrow.
What about Barrow?
That's why I'm talking. UDP Barrow and UDP, because the UDP Barrow and UDP was the whole UDP before. You understand? Even if Barrow took half or fifth quarter, it's still part of it. You know, politically not, but it is one egg, but divided. You know,
so now Esafal coming with 0. Now he's taken away from Barrow and UDP.
There will be also a move. Even from Kande, maybe some will find Esafal sympathies and
taken away from everywhere.
So that's it. So this is it. So they made a pool. Many people, because the pool is just also as we are doing a prognosis, and then we used to have it here. They will tell you next Sunday if we should vote, this person will win. Next Sunday if we should vote. So it's just some people they used to ask, and they say there.
Okay, so let me
just like you, Mr. Sawane,
Sam, what is your favorite based on like list? Sam, what do you think your prediction based on list? This is just something that, you know, for the benefit of our viewers, we just make a prediction.
I think I am not going to predict who is going to win. What I'm going to predict is it's going to be a close race. I think it's going to be a close race between the first and the second, and then the third will be just right behind them, and then there'll be a big gap between the rest of them. So, and the top contenders that we know that are out there that we are seeing, it's going to be tough. Mama Kande is going to be in the picture. UDP is going to be in the picture. Barrow is going to be in the picture. These three are going to be in the picture for sure. Asafal may gain some momentum and get in the picture as well. Then you'll see the rest of the group coming up as well. You know, unfortunate for, I won't say unfortunate, but a delay for Citizens Alliance and GMC that had to go through all what they went through to court level, that distracted them from their campaigns, and that also caused them some lost time. So, but they can gain momentum as well. So don't count them out of the picture. At the end of the day, I would say that time will tell.
I will tell Sam. I used to say surprise because what
is your prediction, Vamara? That's we can come to you, Alice. Vamara.
I think Vamara, the daughter was disturbed some time.
Okay, Alice, what's your prediction based on the list?
Yeah, for me, I'm just neutral. I'll be just
prediction. No, it's not like prediction doesn't mean you are favoring anybody.
No, I mean just like what Sam said. You know, I just only said it here. It can be a surprise to my feeling, not what we are thinking of.
So you think? I mean, maybe NPP and the UDP will not win this.
NPP and UDP. I mean, they are in front of the TV. You have to be careful.
They might not win this thing.
They can win, but I mean, we have to be careful. They are on the TV. They are in the media. The two. That's why many people think the fight is between these two.
Okay.
You know, because we see them.
And then Famara mentioned Doi. So I think it's four groups that perhaps on top because they also getting momentum.
I don't know, but it can be very, very interesting. I mean, I have my suspect, but I cannot say it here. Okay. That's why we have election. Let people vote.
There's no, we cannot do it as a group, so we just want the voters to wait and see
Yeah,
everybody,
I used to say in Wolof, nyambi bu toila. Fumo dame doko ham.
more than
You understand? It's a raw cassava. It's a raw. That's it. That's how I see this time the election. And we have to always keep something in our heads. Before it was one cake. So there is movement from 2016 till now.
But I like one thing about Baro, what he said. Akuna boita, that means that he's willing, if everything is fair, if he loses, he's willing to, peacefully. Let that happen. So,
I mean,
so our supporters, they are not happy. Iman happy wala. But yeah, the fact of the matter is Baro is right. If you have a good heart for the nation, yakata, you try to convince them. You use any kind of mechanism. I think that when I heard about that and somebody played it in front of me,
that is fair. That is fair. And people will respect you.
This man might surprise us, if he loses. He might even, gracefully, for the first time, hand over without a trouble.
Yeah. If you look at it, that is, he will gain also this respect. And people can even say that is the legacy he.
But I want the oppositions too. If they lose this election, let them know
accept.
that God, Gambian people and God decided this. It has to be God first who decides stuff, and Gambian the voters, because you cannot take the voters out.
Yeah, you have to respect the voters. At the end, even Jame respected that the Gambians. Because sometimes you don't need to force it, because it happens in Africa most of the time. When they force it.
All right, so I think we can end it up.
I
think Sam want to say something.
Sam, come in.
I just wanted to say, that's I totally agree with what you guys saying, and for Baro to say what he said about about that is a good consent. Is good that he said that as well. To me, when I analyze that, is coming to self-realization, realizing that yes, he can lose this, realizing that he has been misguided before. And he realizes that the fact is coming out very soon, within a week here soon. And he realized that he needs to start to acknowledge the fact that he can lose.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's a good thing also to show that there could be a smooth transition if that happened.
Yep.
And that's what Gambian people want.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I can be wrong, but if I am wrong, you can correct me. But I see in Gambia this election, because I try to be not to be distracted from the whole noise. But if you just make a good observation, I see two giants in the field who are even one is enough, and they are two, they are twins, and that can also change the whole thing. Maybe you know whom I'm saying, and that's my suspect, and I'm expecting that too.
Okay, we'll keep that in mind. If this thing comes out a surprise, we know that Alan and in the elections.
It's just a suspect anyway. But let God save us, and then let us have a very peaceful and the people who should go to court should go to court. I know for some people can be very unfair, but they have to think of Gambia too. And not to create any problem, that's it, or making theater or making demonstrations nonsense. We just have eight days to go.
Thank you.
So let the people, we have to respect ourselves and respect the families, our families orders. So take care.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you all.
Sam.
Thank you,
Alice. So good luck.
Thank you all.
Good luck.
May God bless our country.
The Americans. Yeah.
Thank you.